Dishonored is one of those games that everybody calls a masterpiece. One of the best stealth games ever made, with magic, old school lightsabers, brutal killings, and an amount of moral corruption that makes you wonder how the people live in this place. But here's the thing, when I first played it back in 2014, it just didn't click for me at all. So now 14 years after its original release, I wanna know, was I wrong? So this time I'm going all in. I'm going to complete the game in its entirety and get all 50 achievements. And once I've done that, I should finally be able to answer the question, is Dishonored actually still that good, 14 years later? The game starts as Corvo, the main protagonist, returns home to Dunwall to deliver a letter to his empress. The city of Dunwall is suffering from a plague, which immediately gave me some very unwanted flashbacks to 2020. And the letter was supposed to bring good news. But of course the letter was worthless, and the empress gets a new hole in her stomach and her daughter Emily gets kidnapped. The incompetent city guard arrives moments later and come to the conclusion that Corvo did everything. And with that, Corvo is branded a traitor, thrown into prison, and dishonored. A few months later I wake up in a cell with the officer telling me that I should enjoy this piece of bread. But surprise surprise, there was a key. I went out and picked up the sword laying around. And this is where the real game begins. Because while approaching my first victim, I am offered two choices. I could either kill the man or strangle him into unconsciousness. That single moment sets the tone for the entire playthrough. You can move through the world quietly, sparing most people, keeping chaos low. Or you can slaughter your way through Dunwall and watch the city decay around you. Depending on the playstyle, the game gives me very different endings and different achievements, which means I need to play through the game multiple times to unlock everything. For this playthrough, I decided to aim for the Clean Hands achievement. I also tried to do this all while remaining completely undetected. So I strangled the first guard and made my way through the prison without killing anybody. I grabbed the bomb that was conveniently placed in an unlocked safe and put it at the door of the access, blowing my way out. Although I have to admit it made no sense at all that I couldn't just open the door without the blowing up part. I mean, I took control of the entire lobby here, but it seems like it isn't openable from the inside. I made my way down into the sewers, where I had to avoid a few carnivoral rats, until I found a crate that had a few goodies for me. A crossbow that will be essential for putting people to sleep on the spot, and a foldable lightsaber prototype from the 1800s. I avoided the next few guards and made my way outside of the sewers, where an old fisherman awaited us.
I'm Samuel, and I work for some good people who want very much to meet you.
Yeah, well, I immediately failed the first mission and had to replay it, because apparently I wasn't cautious enough.
Oh shit, here we go again.
So I had to do everything again until Samuel was happy with me. Vanished. Nice, now I did it. Woo! After this little boat trip, Samuel took us to the Hound's Pits pub, which will be our hub in between every quest. In the pub, I meet the Loyalists, a group of people who believe that I wasn't responsible for killing the Empress, and wanted to help me to find Emily Caldwin, the true heir to the throne. But honestly, they won't do anything significant in the future, and let me handle everything by myself. After this little introduction, I went to sleep, just to wake up in a strange world. Well, this does not look right. Here I meet the outsider, some kind of Jesus who tattooed a symbol onto my arm, signaling me that I'm now part of his exclusive little boy band of strange people. With this I can now blink through the air, teleporting from one place to another, which surely will be useful for a deadly... for an undeadly assassin like me. Waking up with a headache, a new tattoo and surrounded by a bunch of random items, it was hard for me to believe that I hadn't gone to party last night. Now more OP than I should be at this point, I made my way to our very first target. Samuel took me back to Dunwall, so that I can get rid of Overseer Campbell, one of the pricks who accused me of murdering the Empress and is now basically the Pope in this world. Hopefully, he would also have some kind of clue of where I can find Emily Coldwin, the true heir to the throne. Samuel dropped me off at the shore, and I went off. But instead of straightly heading for our target, I went ahead and got distracted. And this is actually where Dishonored truly shines. Even though the game is divided into multiple missions, the missions themselves don't just contain a straightforward plan. I get to decide which way I go. And most of the time, the long way around leads to a bunch of interesting side characters and mini-stories. For example, Granny Rex over here, who wants me to go and fight off members of the Bottle Street gang. Or these two thugs, who intimidate an old man inside his house. There are also a lot of interesting optional areas like this house of a doctor, or this alley where a woman is being intimidated by a few guards. Depending on which route I take, the stories either exist or they don't. And because the first option sounds a lot more fun, I run throughout the entire mission and look into every corner, just to see if I can find something there, all while remaining completely undetected. I also unlocked a new ability, which lets me take control of animals or other people. While crawling deeper inside of the level, I arrive at a big plaza, where a masked man had another dude tied up at a strange sex device. After choking the guard and freeing this poor victim, the guy turned out to be Martin, a friend of our cause.
Feels good to stand up straight. Thank you, Corvo.
Now all that was left to do was to sneak into the big fat mansion next door, where my target awaits me. I meet him inside a room, where he tries to poison another officer, who turns out to be the uncle of Callist, a mate back at the pub. Since I try to be a good guy, I destroy both glasses, removing the poison from the game. This leads them to leave into a more private area, because Campbell doesn't want anybody to see what he plans on doing to Corno. I followed them, put them both to sleep with the help of a poisoned sleep dart, which conveniently can be restocked here as well. While looking around here, I'm really wondering what Campbell would have done to this guy here. Now I need to find a way to get rid of the High Overseer without actually killing him. By listening to a few guards, I heard that there was a special mark for traitors and other scum, which marked them forever, leading to everybody not talking to them and removing them from society completely. Which seems rather harsh, doesn't it? On my way out, I picked up Colonel's unconscious body like a sack of rotten potatoes and disposed him in a trash bin. I met back up with Samuel to leave the mission and... Yep, I failed.
What the?
Somehow I was detected. You're starting to see a pattern here. So I arrived at the shore, sneaked past everybody, freed Martin, jerked Connor in front of the Overseer without him seeing me, choked the Overseer in his weird sex dungeon, and branded him as a traitor again. I stuffed Connor back in the trash, and finally was able to call the first level finished. With this, I unlocked the achievement Spectre and Faceless. Let's hope I don't have to do everything twice. Back at the pub, I tried to hide from Havelock and Pendleton by becoming a fish. But unfortunately, they found me anyway and forced me back to Dunwall again. This time, I need to take out the two brothers of Pendleton, because they seem to like each other very, very much, and apparently are the ones hiding Emily from the public. They can be found at the Golden Cat, a velvet-draped palace of indulgence, where the high and mighty nobility traverse to accompany each other, talking about the low-life normal people, and enjoying a sip of fine aged wine together with a woman. Yeah, well, it's a brothel. Luckily for me, the Bottle Street gang leader Slackjaw can help me out here. By finding the body of one of his deceased gang member, he hands me the key to a nearby building. He also offers me additional help, if I get some information out of the Golden Cat for him. So without further ado, I sneaked past the guards and arrived on top of a building, looking over our destination. Getting in was easy. I used an open window and overheard the landlady making fun of some guests who only talk to her employee. After making her feel what happens when the customers don't just talk to her workers, I steal the master key and stumble upon Emily while looking for any valuables in the attic.
Corvo? Corvo, it's you! You're wearing a Mortis lock.
And I helped her flee from this place.
This place is on the river, so you must have come by boat.
But I returned back inside to meet up with a friendly old man who was so helpful that he even prepared the perfect torture setup. After a few spicy chidori's to his face, he gives me the code to his safe. This is the information that Slackjaw needs from us. Funnily enough, I can use the code for the safe and take the insights for myself, which also unlocks another achievement. After handing the now useless code to Slackjaw, he promises that he will take care of the Pendleton twins for me without killing them. And well, actually I was able to finish the quest on the first try without being detected. Nice. Well, after now kidnapping our little princess back after she got kidnapped, it was time to become a kidnapper myself. My next goal was to snatch the old man Sokolov, a royal physician that we already saw back in the intro mission. For the first time, I was sent to a new mission area. But honestly, there wasn't anything new over here. The area had the same design as the previous level, and the only notable thing here was actually the fact that I almost spent half an hour trying to unlock this safe, where the numbers were hidden in 3 different pictures in this house. I also got another achievement by climbing up this huge ass tower. Top of cap. This is not the top, that is the top. I want to go all the way. Sokolov was easily picked up after cuddling him from behind, and with him on my shoulder, I leave the mission. I also get the surgical achievement for killing nobody. Next up was my most favorite mission in the game. I had to sneak into a party to get rid of the lover of the Lord Regent, our true ultimate target. So, sneaking into the party was quite easy, as I just jumped into the courtyard via a rundown tower nearby. And for the first time in like forever, I could stretch out my spine and walk among the people without any consequences. Because conveniently, everybody here wears a mask, since it's a mask party.
Party is a sham.
There's also a lot to do at the party. Dueling with a random guy, stealing stuff without any consequences, getting a few drinks, playing wingman for this weird dude over here even though it's completely hopeless, and also flirting with noble ladies to find out who is behind that mask, which is the entire point of this mission. Lady Boyle actually has 2 sisters, which means there are 3 Lady Boyles in total. Each dresses in different colors, and I need to find out which is the real Lady Boyle I need to take care of. But luckily for me, nobility are a bunch of gossips. And for the measly price of a drink that could be gathered for free, I got the info which sister I needed to take out. After luring her into the cellar, I give her another warm hug from behind and get her to my wingman over here.
Oh, my love. Someday you will understand. You'll never know how happy you've made me. Someday she'll learn to appreciate me. After all, she'll have her whole life.
Somehow I feel kind of disgusted. But I got the achievement, so it was worth it. And right after getting rid of the lover of the Lord Regent, he himself is now the next target.
One man, one beating heart, is all that's left of the forces that brought this city to the brink of ruin.
The former spymaster holed himself up in the Dunwall Tower, the same tower that we arrived at during the intro mission. Getting inside was fairly easy, as I just had to climb up a few stairs until I reached the courtyard and the main door. On the inside, things got a little bit trickier. Inside of here, I had 2 goals. I needed to find the Lord Regent, as well as to find a way to get rid of him without punching a new hole inside of him. That will have to wait for later. Luckily, after sneaking around a bit, I found a radio tower, and the guy there told me that the idiot ex-spy master is such a good spy that he even records his own darkest secrets in an audio tape. And getting everything out of his safe, I played the tape live, exposing him to the entire world for arranging the killing of the Empress.
If I explain, then you will see I am not at fault. My poverty was meant to bring prosperity to the city, to rid.
Poetic justice, nice. Didn't kill anyone and ghost, perfect. Let's continue. Back in the Hound Pits, everybody was celebrating and the juice was flowing. I was mentally getting ready for another playthrough. But after returning to my room, I once again took a cup too much and I fell into my mattress. During some blurry mess cutscene, I found out that apparently the loyalists are not so loyal. They have tried to poison me, but Samuel, our good friend over here, only put in half the poison. I woke up in a boat drifting through the canal, just to be found by members of the Outsiders boy band. It looked like they weren't so happy to see me, and after the leader, Dowd, what kind of name is this? Dowd? Dowd? I have no idea. Well, he talked to me and revealed that he was the one who killed our dear Empress. And since he's jealous of my lightsaber prototype, he threw it away and somebody punched me in the face. Oh. After waking up in an unescapable death trap that I was able to escape out of after nearly 5 seconds of thinking, I had to get my gear back in order to go and beat up Dowd. Traversing this abandoned part of town, I got spit at not only by the inhabitants but also by the plants. Oh, it actually one-shot me. I got my gear back, which also unlocked another achievement. Now it was just about infiltrating Dowd's place without getting caught, and oh my god, this actually was quite difficult. There were a lot of guards at every corner, and even after somehow making my way inside of the building, I just wasn't able to take them out without alerting another enemy. So I turned myself into a rat and sneaked past them, trying not to get squished by their boots. After infiltrating the main hideout, I had only one major problem. Even though I would like to beat the hell out of him, which unfortunately still had to wait for a little bit, I needed to get the key that was hanging at his desk. Since this paranoid guy almost never looked away from it, I had to lure him away by firing a few bolts across the room and quickly snatch the key. I had to act fast and run away, trying to remain hidden. With the sound of teleporting behind me, I made a last-ditch effort to get into the sewers. Let's... You spared Dowd's life. After making my way out of the sewers and through a locked down part of the town, I finally returned to the Hound Pits pub, where this familiar lady, who I have no idea what her name is, tried to open an unopenable wall? Yeah, well, she informed me that our once loyal loyalists betrayed everybody and killed them with a few exceptions that were able to hide out. It was now my job to find them. I found our lovely bathtub lady hiding in Emily's tower, as well as our 2 physician guys hiding in Piero's workshop. After helping them start up a pylon that fried the brain of those around us, I called for Samuel and made my way to the truly last mission. Here I had to infiltrate a lighthouse, but honestly, it was quite easy. Even though Samuel told me that there was only one entrance, I found multiple, which all lead me towards an elevator that brought me towards my end goal. Upon climbing on the roof, I was able to take a sneak peek inside, and it looked like they had a hell of a party, and of course I arrived late. Pendleton and Martin were both completely knocked out, while Havelock still enjoyed a drink by the fireplace.
We hadn't helped Corvo get...
I put him to sleep and rescued Emily once again.
Corvo! I knew you'd come. Is it going to be okay now? Will I be Empress?
This earned me the Clean Hands achievement, as well as the Ghost achievement and a few additional ones for completing a game on low chaos. And I have to say, This playthrough was quite fun. Finding all the different ways to traverse the levels and find out the ways to get rid of them without actually killing my targets was way better than I had remembered it. But now it was enough with the low chaos hiding behind every shelf stuff. Now the real fun begins, as we go full ham, hopefully leaving Dunwall behind in a bloody mess. Now I get to be the bad guy for once. So the game restarts. Same stuff. I arrive, Empress is killed. I am thrown into prison and I break out. This was also the playthrough where I tried to collect the rest of the achievements, as well as a lot of optionable and missable ones. 2 of them were particularly interesting. The art dealer achievements, where I need to find all lootable art pieces all throughout the playthrough, as well as the versatile achievement, where I need to kill a character with every different weapon possible. But I'll get to that later. For now I escape prison once again and make my way into the sewer system, where I pick up my stuff. Here I also get the rogue achievement for killing 10 unaware enemies before leaving the mission on Samuel's boat. On the way to assassinate the High Overseer, I got another big chunk of achievements, as well as some mandatory side missions out of the way. I helped Granny Rags kill a bunch of rude visitors at her doorsteps, and proceeded to poison the elixir in Slackjaw's basement with the plague itself, increasing the chaos even further. I slaughtered 5 enemies at once for another achievement, and I also used 5 drop assassinations. I made a pile of ash of another guard by manipulating the light barrier, and also threw a live grenade back to the sender by stopping time through my magic tattoo. Yeah, well, I had to do it once for once. I also earned the Escapist achievement by eluding 5 pursuers without killing them, which took a few tries since the idiots killed each other the whole time. I grabbed the painting from the secret basement and traveled 30 meters in less than a second. After killing the High Overseer, I made my way out of the mission.
To burn the Black Book! Understand? Burn it!
Black Book, what do you mean?
And warn them! And I'll plague you, useless incompetent! I never liked you!
What in the world? Careful.
Rescuing Emily out of the Golden Cat was also quite straightforward, except for one little detail. I slaughtered a bunch of unconscious guards for the Hornet's nest. I got the desired information for Slackjaw and chilled inside the red tunnel for more than 3 minutes. I killed an assassin that was waiting for me on the roofs and made my way to the Golden Cat. Oh, and on the way there, a few guards decided to shoot each other in the back a few times. It was very important that I save here, since I have to do the section 2 times. During the first train of events, I make my way to the inside and kill the first of the 2 Pendleton brothers with my own hands. And suffocate the other with a little bit of steam. Then I had to reload everything and torture my helpful friend over here for the code of his safe again.
I deserve that.
I rescued Emily and went back to Slackjaw's hideout. Before that, I of course broke into the safe and stole the 3 paintings that could be found inside of this house. Slackjaw took care of the Pendleton brothers for me, and I was off to kidnap Sokolov. Honestly, nothing happened here. It was the same sequence of events as in the last playthrough. The only difference was the painting that showed the back of Lady Boyle, that I grabbed in the basement of Sokolov's house. With him in our cage and supplied with a bunch of brandy, it was back to Lady Boyle's party. And here, 2 important and rather annoying tasks had to be checked off my list. The first was this blueprint that I needed to collect in order to later unlock another achievement. The second one was the achievement harm's way. This requires me to force 5 characters into unintentional suicides. This could be done in numerous ways, things like grenades that they launch at themselves. I tried to do it in the easiest way, that turned out to be not so easy after all. And the idea was to force the innocent party guests into the light barrier that could be found here. I was able to prepare everything for it, removing most of the guards out of the area. The only problem was that every time I started my sequence of walking near the gate just to switch out of the body again, somebody would start screaming, which led to multiple guards coming my way and killing me. This took literally almost an hour until I was finally able to pull this off 5 times in a row without the guards killing me or my mana running out, which actually happened quite a lot. After this fiasco, I grabbed the 2 paintings that could be found inside of here and killed all 3 Boyle sisters just to make sure that our wingman guy wouldn't get a happy ending with either of them. Now it is just the Lord Regent left, and this was also quite straightforward. I sneaked into the palace, realized that sneaking is not fun, killed a bunch of guards until I rammed my sword into the shoulder of the Lord Regent myself. Oh, and I of course also grabbed the painting of the Empress on this level, as well as this blueprint for explosive ammo. Back at the Hound's pits, Emily greets us with a rather dark greeting.
Long live the Empress.
Did you kill anybody tonight? How many?
And yeah, well, after this point, the harsh change in the world for killing everybody and everything around me becomes quite obvious. After getting drugged again by the loyalists, I ended up back at the abandoned part of town, where Dodd takes my stuff for himself. Oh well, rather the gutter. I grabbed the painting of this drunk dude over here. I went to get the next achievement out of the way. Versatile requires me to kill characters with each weapon that is in the game. This is only possible if I collect the 2 aforementioned blueprints, since this unlocks sticky bombs as well as explosive ammo. But with this done, I killed my way all the way to Dowd, where I can finally get my sweet revenge after shooting him in the butt a bunch of times. After grabbing the last painting in this mission, I made my way out to return to the Hound's Pits pub. Or at least that's what I thought. Remember Granny Rex and Slackjaw? Yeah, well, as it turns out, those 2 have a beef to settle, and of course I had to stick my nose into it as well. But this way, I got 3 more achievements. 1 for boiling Slackjaw in a pot, 1 for roasting Granny Rex inside of an oven, and 1 for collecting the last piece of art of this game. And after making my way through an overrun Weeper underground nightclub, I arrived back at the pub, where almost everybody was dead. Even the irrelevant lady wasn't really happy to see a murderer like myself again. After looking around a bit, I even found the dead bodies of the bathtub lady, as well as the other irrelevant characters. The only people still alive were our 2 scientists, who once again fried the brain of everybody around us. After throwing a grenade at a bunch of sleeping people, I went with Samuel to the final island. Here, another few things changed drastically. The place had more guards, as well as a bloody internal war going on here. But this time, they dragged the bloody mess outside to the public. Martin was shooting at Pendleton, who hid behind a wall cursing at everybody. Martin was easily dealt with, and for Pendleton, I didn't even need to do anything. For another achievement, it was very important that I deactivate 5 of the 6 security systems, while making my way through the level. Upon reaching the top, Havelock turned completely mad and almost even killed Emily.
Stay where you are, Corvo, or I jump.
Corvo! Save me!
If it weren't for my good aim, where I just shot at a big white arrow that was covering his head, Emily would be done for. But luckily, Corvo, with the reaction time of a gazelle, managed to grab Emily and save the day. And with that, everything should be done and dusted. 49 out of 50 achievements done. Wait, 49? Yeah, well, there's still one more. I still needed to beat the game with only my weapons and blink. No magic whatsoever. And so... I break out of prison, plant a bomb and dive into the water, pick up a 1800s lightsaber, meet an old man, kill the Dunwall equivalent of the Pope, torture my new lover, pick up my daughter from the brothel, send some dudes to the mines, take a quick tour with the local train, choke an old man, peek at Callis taking a bath. Yes, that was very important to mention here. I get this drunk woman to a safe place on this boat, kill the Lord Regent because he rather looked under the bed full bloody well knowing that the monster only hid on top of the bed, drink too much ale, wake up finding this dude throwing my stuff away, but actually it's a bunch of junk so I directly go and kick his ass, visit this underground club but I had to leave because a plant kept spitting at me, I tried helping Shorty open the door but no luck, signaled my old ride again and leave my two scientists playing in her cellar. Just to climb up the same old stupid lighthouse for the third time, but this time I made sure Havelock stayed dead. And with that, I unlocked final achievement number 50. Honestly, I thought that doing the game without magic at all will be quite interesting, but it wasn't. But just the same old game, again. Now, to answer my first question of this video, is Dishonored still good 14 years later? Yes? Yes it is. This game has everything you need to either relax or go full tryhard. In every single playthrough, everything could be done differently, and the game has so many wonderful characters. The game was so great that even while playing, I had to watch other videos just to see if something different happened for other players. And well, yes, some things changed. But I won't spoil any more for you. If you want to find out the secrets, I highly recommend you do it for yourself. And while doing so, try to unlock all 80 achievements. Wait, 80? Yeah, well, as it turns out, there's still a DLC, with 30 more achievements to be gained. And from what I've heard, this will be not so fun at all. But this is for another time.